Has a prospect ever told you, I'm not buying anything today? The worst thing you can do is believe them. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete system for identifying and overcoming the fears that are stopping you from closing deals. And you're going to want to stay around for this because I'm going to share my favorite analogy for deals that go nowhere, and it involves wiping before you poop. You might be afraid to close because you're scared the prospect will actually say yes. When people first hear that, they think, no, that's all I want. But let me tell you, I've seen it time and time again. An agent or a team member gets to the end of the call, they know they have a deal, and then they freeze, they lose urgency, and then the deal dies. The biggest thing holding you back isn't the leads, it's not the rate, and it's not the competition. It's you. It's the beliefs and preconceived notions that are limiting your actions. By the end of this video, I'm going to walk you through every single one of those fears, the ones you know about and the ones you don't, and give you the exact frameworks to get over them so you can finally close the deals you deserve. And you'll definitely want to stick around because later in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to dismantle the I need to talk to my financial advisor objection too. It's an objection that stops most agents and team members in their tracks, but you're going to learn how to drive a wedge right through it. I remember when I first started to outproduce other people in our office. I was probably writing 15 cars a month and 6 financial services, and in my head, I was the man. I had it all figured out. Then I got into a group with other high-producing team members who wanted to become agents, and I quickly realized that I was average at best. Just being in that environment, my production went up to 20 cars and about 12 financial services a month. Again, I thought I was at the top, and then I watched a call with the number 2 agent in the company at the time. He showed his team's production, and his lowest producer was writing 20 cars a month, and his best had 49 cars. I was so shocked by this because here I am thinking I'm the man with 20 cars, and his best guy is doing 49 cars a month. The very next month, I produced 53 cars. I didn't get better in 1 month's time. I just had a belief change as to what was possible. And that's what we're doing today. We're breaking the beliefs that are holding you back from closing. Because if you want to write business consistently, you have to get over the fear of asking for it. The system is simple. We're going to identify the fear and understand why it's BS. And I'm going to give you the actions to fix it. Let's get into the first and maybe most common reason people are afraid to close. Now, this process of identifying your own mental roadblocks is critical. It's what separates the real producers from the people who just process quotes. And to make it even easier for you, I've taken all the core fears that we're about to break down and put them into a 1-page PDF I call the Fearless Closer Scorecard. It's a simple diagnostic checklist. You go down the list, you check off the fears that you know are holding you back, and next to each one is the single most important action step you need to take this week to start fixing it. It's the fastest way to turn this video from something you watch into something you do. The link to download it for free is right in the description below. Go grab that now, and you can fill it out as we go for the rest of the video. All right, let's get into the first reason you're afraid to close. This was actually very true for me when I started. And that reason is that you're afraid the prospect will say yes. You might be thinking this sounds crazy, right? Because you want the yes. But when you're new or haven't written a certain type of policy before, there's a voice in your head going, what if they say yes? What do I do next? You don't know how to do the application or how to take payment or what happens after you hit submit. And just that fear of looking incompetent makes you pull back. You don't push as hard as you should, and you don't close because you're terrified of what might happen after. Here's how we fix it. It's simple. You have to practice the different quoting systems. Go into your software, look at the different policies you can quote, and grade yourself on a scale from 1 to 10 for each policy type. 10 means I could do this with my eyes tied behind my back. Anything 6 or below, you need to practice. Quote yourself. Quote Mickey Mouse at 123 Address Street. Do whatever you have to do to learn the systems so that the yes doesn't scare you. Reason number 2 is you don't own the product you're trying to close. This one is so important and so often missed. Whenever I work with an agent or a team member that has good scripts, lots of role play, and no production to show for it, I always ask if they've bought the line or lines they're trying to sell on themselves. And almost every time they have it. If it's not good enough for you, it's not good enough for them. And you won't push them to do it because deep down, you're not even willing to do it. No one at our office has ever made it big without owning the products on themselves. And if you're thinking, well, I'm making it just fine without owning those policies on myself, then you and I just have different definitions of making it. Prospects can smell BS. People have been around people for as long as there's been people, and you can hear it in someone's voice when they aren't being sincere. When you own the policy, you've been through the app, you've seen the underwriting process, you know what the letter in the mail looks like, you have the conviction. And if a prospect asks you what you have and you say nothing, then that sale is definitely dead. So buy the policies and believe in them enough to own them. Reason number 3 you're afraid to close is you hear a red herring and believe it. You might be wondering, what's a red herring? Well, it's a statement that distracts from the main goal of the sales call. You've heard them all before. I'm just shopping. We're not buying today. I'm getting numbers from my current agent. The worst thing you can do is believe them. They are saying that out of literal ignorance. They have no idea what you're about to do. So the prospect thinks they're playing it safe by just saying that up front. Sometimes when I go to buy a car and a salesperson comes up to me, I just say, just so you know, I'm not buying today, just to see if that salesperson folds like a chair. And if they do, I'm not buying from them. When you hear a red herring, you just have to keep moving on. In one ear, out the other, and don't acknowledge it. It's not true. It's based on them not knowing what you're about to do. Treat everybody like a buyer, and they will act like one. And if you treat everybody like a millionaire, they'll spend like one too. Reason number 4 you're afraid to close is you're waiting for the prospect to say yes. This is a big one. You do your whole presentation, you lay out the terms and the price, and then you sit there waiting, hoping they'll say, yeah, let's do it. Sometimes they do, and you get a lay down sale. And more often than not, they say, can you email this to me? Waiting for someone to say yes can't be your only business plan. You have to be in control of the sale. The reason you're waiting is because you're not creating urgency. You're not giving them a reason to do it today. I see it all the time. We're less expensive, we have better coverage, and the agent or team member didn't close because the person is still shopping around. Well, that's like wiping before you poop. It doesn't make any sense. If you're less expensive, you need to create urgency by saying, this is my rate today. I don't know what it's going to be next time we talk. Rates change all the time. We've all quoted someone, seen a rate, and then the rate changes 2 hours later. Use that. If it's more coverage, like life insurance, and they say, let's talk in a month, all you say is, hey, I get it, but last year 31 life policies paid out while we were waiting for someone to get approved. If we submit payment today with the application and you walk out of here and get hit by a bus, we're sending a check to your family. If you don't, we won't. You have to create urgency. Don't close because they want to. Close because it makes sense. Reason number 5 you're afraid to close is you're banking on the rate. You're sitting there with your fingers crossed, just hoping the rates line up and you're less expensive. Well, let me tell you something. Rates go up and down all the time. Your bills just go up. You can't bank on the rate. You have to have a way to sell in any rate environment. I remember when I first started in Iowa in 2018, as an insurance agent, we were always more expensive on everything. Every time we quoted an auto, we were more. Every time we quoted a home, we were more. The only way we got people to go with us is because of our recommendation and because we were closing hard. It doesn't matter what they're paying now. We don't close because we're a better rate. We close because we have the best recommendation and because we make the most sense. If you solve the right problems, people will literally pay you anything. Reason number 6 you're afraid to close is you're buying what the prospect is selling. You got off a call and you didn't close. Well, you just bought their story. Oh, they said to call back in 6 months and then they'd be ready to call. Come on now. If you don't close on that first call, odds of it happening are slim to none. So stop buying on the first call. You're supposed to be selling. In every single conversation, someone buys. Either the prospect does or you do. There's a book called Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone that covers this entire concept because the easiest people to sell to are salespeople. And since you are a salesperson, that means you're more likely to believe what the prospect is telling you because it's very easy to sell to you. It's the same reason that the best salespeople are not good at multiple choice. You can justify any answer to yourself. You see those 4 answers and you find a way for all of them to start making sense. Well, that's not going to help you on your tests, and it's not going to help you negotiate. So don't believe them. Don't believe any objection, even if it's real. Handle it and then just move on. Reason number 7 you're afraid to close is you're afraid of their financial advisor. This one comes up all the time. I need to talk to my financial advisor. First, I need you to keep in mind that your clients are going to make you think they trust their financial advisor more than they actually do. You need to treat it just as another objection to get around. And second, most of those advisors are investment advisors. They build wealth and they get paid based on how much a person has in their account, but they don't have a way to protect it. They're not licensed in PNC. They don't know what liability limits the person needs. And we have financial advisors as clients, and we have to update their limits for them. So to get around the financial advisor objection, you need to drive a wedge. Ask questions like, when was the last time you met with your advisor? What did your advisor recommend for liability limits? Have you ever gotten a second opinion? That question alone can stop them right in their tracks. And if they say their financial advisor told them they have enough saved up and don't need life insurance, that's where you just ask, did your financial advisor explain the taxes with doing that? Did they explain that if you have $1 million invested versus $1 million in life insurance, it literally costs you $1 million to leave $1 million? With those investments, but it costs you maybe $80 a month to leave $1 million of life insurance tax-free? Or maybe you could ask, why would you give your family $1 million when you can give them $2 million because you can supersize that gift with a single pay life policy? Financial advisors might think it, but they ain't all that. So don't let them think you can't help if they have a financial advisor. So how do you make sure that you never fall into these traps again? You follow a system with simple rules. Rule number 1, know your systems. You have to know how to do the apps, the signatures, and the billing. If you're not afraid of the yes, it'll be easier to close. Rule number 2 is own the products on yourself. If you believe in it, you can sell it. If you don't believe in the products and don't own them on yourself, you won't. Simple as that. Rule number 3, never believe the prospect. They're just saying things to throw you off. Treat everyone like a buyer and they'll act like one. Rule number 4, always make a presentation. No matter what, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, so take every shot. Rule number 5, business first, friendship later. You're here to do business. When someone is seeking out insurance, they're seeking out insurance, not a friend. Become friends after they pay you. Rule number 6, hold yourself accountable and practice. Role play the parts of your script where you're getting stuck. Find someone in your office and practice for just 10 minutes a week. It's the secret cheat code to more experience. This isn't complicated stuff. These are the fundamentals. Nail the fundamentals and you don't have to worry about short-term plays that only work for a little while. Look, at the end of the day, there are a million reasons you can come up with for why you're afraid to close, but they all boil down to one thing. You're waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen. The one thing I want you to take away from this is that closing is an action, not a result. It's not something you wait for, it's something you do. You create urgency, you ask the hard questions, you control the sale. You don't close because the prospect wants to, you close because it makes sense. Stop being afraid, get your head right, follow the process, and go ask for the damn sale. Now, what I've shared with you today is just one piece of a much larger system that I've developed year after year, ranking our agency top 10 out of 19,500 agencies, representing the largest captive insurance carrier. If you're tired of guessing, tired of inconsistent production, and you want the exact step-by-step fundamentals and tactics that work in any rate environment, then Trainwell is for you. I created it because I was tired of trainings full of fluff and full of plays that didn't last. This is the stuff that's worked in our agency for over 20 years. If you want to stop making mistakes and start making more money, click the link below to learn more about what we do, or go to trainwell.co and hop on a call with me and I will see personally how I can help you. And if you found this video helpful, the next one I want you to see is where I show you how to handle any insurance objection, where I walk you through the exact word tracks and frameworks to use to make sure that you never get stumped by an objection ever again. Thanks for watching. Now go make some calls.